still I don't give a fuck. Said you getting left if I was right, better hope you still in luck. Big shit on the low, these niggas broke and they can't keep.
How you doing, YouTube? It's D from DJ Entertainment, and we back with another video. As you can see, I have two guests here, and I'm gonna let them introduce themselves.
My name is JD. I'm a barber, and I'm on a podcast with my boy D, and I'm with
Coyote Prophet. You see me in a previous video. No other introduction is needed.
Yeah, this is my first time on a podcast, just showing love, man. And we about to drop some jewels, man. Let's get it.
Okay, so the topic here today is the pineal gland, and you may ask, like, why are we talking about the pineal gland? In my opinion, not enough people know about the pineal gland. When I ask different people, my peers and things like that at school, just people that I know, most people don't know what it is, and that's the problem right there. Like, we have to open ourselves up to this type of information because we all have it. So there's no reason why we shouldn't know what it is and the abilities that we can tap into. But the pineal gland is a small endocrine gland that is located in the center of your brain, right on top of the groove of your thalamus, and it's responsible for secreting the hormone called melatonin, which is responsible for your sleep cycles and things of that nature. But we're just gonna dive deep into what the pineal gland really is. I'm no expert in what the pineal gland is. I'm just open to what it can do for us, and we're just gonna get into different topics about it and things of that nature. So
Let's start off by, I know this is going to take this whole conversation off the rails, but it's connected. So if you watch the anime Attack of the Titans, are you familiar with Attack of the Titans?
Yeah.
So you watched it, right?
Yeah, I watched it.
So do you know the reason why the Titans were eating the humans?
No.
The reason why the Titans were eating the humans was because the Titans were actually humans like us. What they did was they experimented on them, and they stuck a needle in the back of their head, which went to their pituitary gland, and it made them, it turned them into the Titans, okay? And here's the catch, though. The reason why they were eating the humans was because, not because they were tasty and they were hungry, there was this belief in their head, this was just a loop in their brains, that if they eat the right human, there's a certain human that they would need to eat in order to be normal again. So they were seeking to be normal again. So that's why they were eating the humans, because if they ate that certain special human, they would become normal again. So it goes back to the pituitary gland, and its power and its influence over everything. And we could talk about adrenochrome as well, or maybe we can't mention that word on YouTube. Right. But that's the thing that they secrete from children in fear. And speaking of, if you've ever watched Torchwood, Children of the third season, which was the Children of Earth, that gets into it as well. Absolutely highly recommend you watch that. Especially out there in the audience, if you've ever seen Torchwood, which is a spinoff from Doctor Who, third season. The episode, basically, the seasonal episode is called Children of Earth. Absolutely watch that, because it deals with the same thing. The power of the pituitary gland is the essence of life on many different levels.
yeah, so just tell us about, because I know, for those that don't know, he's very spiritual. Both of these guys are very spiritual, and they have very spiritual history and doing different things and going through different experiences. So just explain to us about what you know about the pineal gland and how like the spiritual connection it has with the pineal gland. What you know about the spiritual connection, because we of course we know that it has spiritual benefits, opening up your pineal gland. So we want to just open you guys up to that type of information. So what do you know about it?
I'm gonna start back 3 years ago, or I could say about like three years ago. I was in college, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah, all right. So I had a homie that was from Sudan, and we were teammates on the basketball team in college. But outside of like practicing basketball, bro, he'll rap it with me. Like he'll chop it up with me. Like and he told me one time about the pineal gland, the third eye. He gave me a book on the 5% of the nation. That's how I got introduced to the 5% of the nation and the Nation of Islam. Bro had me go outside. At first, all the stuff he telling me, it sounded crazy. Dude, he was talking about dimensions and meditation. I'm like, what the hell is this dude talking about? So bro had me go outside, by a tree. He said, pick out a tree. I picked out a tree. I went to go place my feet on the roots of the tree. Took off my socks. And he said this is called grounding yourself. He had me meditate. At first it felt crazy until I started to feel over the course of about 10 minutes, I started to feel energy surge through the top of my body, through my spine, from my feet. It was energy from my feet to my crown. It was a pressure. It was a dense pressure from my feet to my crown. And after that day, I started to really go into real long, extended periods of meditation because I was interested more, and I started this research up on meditation and learn more about meditation and learn about the chakras and opening different energy vortexes and energy centers within the body. And it's been a journey from there. And I had a lot of experiences, but I'm gonna get the mic to my mans.
Well, I think there's a whole lot that's hindering us. I'll start off with trauma. For the people who don't know, your pituitary gland basically will aid you in connecting with your higher self, your deeper self, that part of you that guides you through various different situations, sort of like your instincts, your sixth sense. So if you can imagine that, we live in you don't have to imagine this, but we live in a society in which those people who appear to be in power are invested or more vested in making sure that we do not reach our potential and that we stay dumbed down on many different levels. So a lot of things that hinder us from ascending to higher states of consciousness and higher vibrations is first and foremost trauma, our own individual trauma, our collective trauma as humans. When you don't deal with your trauma, that keeps you in a perpetual loop and it keeps you in a low vibrational state. And it just is very detrimental to yourself and all those around you. Then there are the environmental factors. There is the poison and the chemicals in our water, the poison and chemicals in our food, the poisons and chemicals in our air, i.e. geoengineering, or some would call it chemtrails. And the other thing that basically also is just our thought process also is very, 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 very important in terms of us being able to connect to our pituitary gland, its abilities, and moving forward. One of the things that we can do is, there are many things that we can do to try to mitigate all of the assaults that are being placed upon us as human beings, and that is to attempt to have individual water filtration systems that we can have in our homes. We can carry on our persons. There are a number of them out there. There's reverse osmosis. There alkaline machines as well. There equipment that we can use to, filter our water and also filter fluoride out of our water, especially people who live in larger municipalities. because fluoride is also another chemical agent that is put in our water. You can do that. Also, try to eat as less processed food, and even if it is processed, the least ingredients of processed foods, and make sure you look at the ingredients. There's certain ingredients that are indicative to targeting our pituitary gland, and also, most importantly, is get in touch with our bodies. As you were talking about grounding allowed you to feel your entire body. And then the pituitary gland is just one part of our body. We need to activate every single aspect of our body, all 144,000 chakras that exist within our body. And that will help us to become the light beings that we are supposed to be.
Yeah. See, I didn't know it was that many chakras. I didn't know it was that many chakras, man. But definitely like grounding. When I started to do that meditation I was talking about, going outside and putting my feet on the roots of the nature, I definitely felt more. I felt more alive, so to speak. You know, I felt like I was tapping into my inner self, so to speak. You know, and it kind of helped me like it kind of helped me like feel more of a sense of who I am, you know. And that's what I've been seeking too, like going within. And I'm not like usually we seek God externally, you know. But I remember one time not too long ago, one of my clients, an older individual, he said, "Where did Jesus say to find God?" He said, my answer was within. He said, right. The keys are within. It's within your heart. You gotta open up that heart chakra. The heart is the truth. The anahata. That's the truth. That's where the true answer lies, you know. But
And it's important to make sure that your heart and the mind are in unison, because you can't have one without the other and be successful. You would just fall over, and then it would just crumble, and then it would just be another situation where another hot mess has been created, and you would need to do it all over again. The heart and the mind must join together. It's just like the light and the dark must be joined together, because it's not all about light and love. That's bullshit. And you know, the darkness is extremely important, because my own understanding is that I would embrace the darkness way before I would the light, because the darkness is what we all primordially came from. That darkness is the essence of everything and where everything has come out of. The light has come out of the darkness. So it is important that as we move forward that we seek the balance, and that balance with our pituitary gland, with all of our other aspects of our bodies, would come into play, and also help us to reach those individual goals and those collective goals that we have with anyone. And I'm not promoting this book because I haven't used it myself, but I went ahead and just brought it off of the TikTok shop. It's the Shadow Work Journal, a guide to integrate and transcend your shadows. I've just glanced through here, and there's some really interesting stuff. Like here's one that says low energy. Think back to the last time you were drained. What were you doing? Who were you with? What did you need at that moment? Facing your fear. What is your biggest fear in life? If it were to happen, what would you do? How would you feel? And it's interesting because these are lots of questions and things that I've always asked myself. And for those people who are always constantly questioning themselves and questioning their motives and questioning their intentions, and being pure about their intentions and and their interactions with other people, you know, when they do have those challenges that happen in their lives, they're not so overwhelming like they are to other people who end up spiraling out of control and who may end up, you know, taking up a substance abuse or hurting other people or maybe even hurting themselves permanently. And it's really interesting and important for people to just constantly be in the, as you said, going within, doing that inner work, because that inner work is basically the only thing that's really important and the only thing that will get us through these times of transformation and these times of great uncertainty for a good number of us, but not all of us.
And you heard it best. So I just want to say, with that being said, tap into who you truly are. We all have a pineal gland, and there's no reason why we shouldn't know what the pineal gland is and what it can do for you. Watch what you eat, the genetically modified food that we ingest into our bodies, the fluoride that's in our waters.
And also, and not to again, via our environment, media, music, people, you know, all of that is important. You know, sometimes there are people we do not need to have in our environment. Music we don't need to have in our environment. Various type of media we don't need, movies and so on and so forth we don't need to have in our environment. All of that is all very important. Sorry to interrupt.
And there might be times where you feel like certain things are holding you back, but it's really based off your conscious decisions. You know, like certain people you gotta cut off. You know, like certain energy, like you said, certain energy. Like if it might be certain energy around you, you might be questioning, like, man, why am I not going anywhere with this business plan? Why am I not going anywhere? It's because the energy, the people you got around you. You know, certain people might not be conducive to your growth. You know, and then when you just see that and analyze that and recognize that, it's time to make a change. You know, and that's what I had to learn. I had to cut certain people off in my life if I wanted to do better for myself, because I was in certain positions in life where I felt like I was stuck. I felt like it was no point of return, but I had to just keep going hard and cut off all distractions, cut off all the people that wanted to use me, you know, all the energy that was non-conducive, a catalyst to my growth, so to speak, you know. But yeah.
Yes, sir. That food's so good. But really watch what you eat. Like he said, your environment and things of that nature. Just tap into what you can truly do with the pineal gland. I would recommend meditation, deep meditation, doing yoga, really going deep within yourself, trying to open up what it is that we really have in our bodies. I'm not an expert, like I said once again, but really tap into what you have. We all have the pineal gland, and I just want to open up about this topic because it was very interesting to me. When I found out what the pineal gland can do, it's a direct connection with spirituality, third eye, our sixth eye chakra, and things of that nature. So,
All right, so I'm into more science. I read. I've been reading and doing the knowledge on certain science and philosophies. Like my favorite Moorish philosopher, I've been studying Averroes. Averroes, he breaks down metaphysics, and I really wish I had my notes with me. It's at the tip of my tongue, but he said something that resonated with me. He said that everything is made up of energy. See, you have substance and you have matter and you got form. When everything is made out of substance, that dark substance, that's that dark matter. And that's that darkness you was talking about. And that's what melanin is.
Dark matter. Yeah.
Yep. So I feel like that substance wanted to actualize itself. So once it externalized itself, it took a form, and that's how we became, because we first were in that primordial darkness. We verse in that primordial state, you know. So that's why when we talk about the Almighty Creator, I feel like we are living vessels of we are basically animated beings of that force, you know.
We're gonna wrap this video up. I just want to say, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and look into the pineal gland and what it can do for you. It really elevates your life and elevates your spirit.
Face that. Ain't gotta say I got it out the mud. In my city we got scars, chopped till I see blood. Into a niggas